Some men are born to make history, others are born to rewrite it with the tip of their blade. Imagine a man so powerful that even demons fear to say his name, a man who, without breathing techniques or years of training, could see the threads of death in his enemies, a man who didn't learn the art of the sword, he became on it. That man is Yoriichi Tsugikuni. But how good was Prime Yoriichi? Really, was he just a myth passed down by the Demon Slayer Corps? Was he simply the first breathing user? Or was he the single greatest warrior to ever walk the earth? Today we break down Yoriichi's life, his power, his legacy, and finally answer the question, was Yoriichi truly unbeatable, or was he something else entirely? 1. The child with no cry. Yoriichi Tsugikuni wasn't born strong. He was born silent. While his twin brother Michikatsu cried at birth, Yoriichi didn't make a sound. Everyone thought he was deaf or cursed. His own mother considered him strange. But even as a toddler, something was different. He could see things others couldn't, like the flow of life through bodies. He moved with purpose, grace, and impossible instinct. By the age of 7, he defeated a trained swordsman with a stick. A stick. This wasn't talent. This was something inhuman. 2. The demon slayer who didn't need training. Most slayers train for years. Yoriichi, he simply picked up a sword and the world changed. He invented the Yi Sun breathing style, the origin of all other breathing techniques. Every modern form, water, flame, wind, mist, thunder, it all came from him. But here's the thing, he didn't even try, he was just doing what came naturally. Others had to adapt his style because it was too perfect, too overwhelming to copy. He wasn't the best swordsman, he was the blueprint of perfection. Barsha 1, the unofficial record. Let's talk facts. Yoriichi never lost a duel. He killed countless demons, Chuari single-handedly. He decapitated demon lords in one strike. Even Muzan, the king of demons, said he was a monster, a true monster in human skin. How many warriors can say the villain of the story feared them so badly he developed PTSD? 2. The fight against Muzan Kibutsuji. The most legendary moment, Yoriichi versus Muzan, the demon who created every other demon, a creature who had lived for centuries, who couldn't be killed. Yoriichi saw his 12 vital points instantly, sliced Muzan into over 500 pieces. In a single dance, left him permanently terrified, scarred, and emotionally ruined. Even after Muzan escaped, he was never the same again. He called Yoriichi the only thing I have ever feared. That's not an opinion. That's power given shape. For chapter just 1, why he was feared by humans. 2. Yoriichi's strength didn't make people cheer. It made them terrified. The Demon Slayer Corps began to distance from him. His brother grew jealous. Even his allies saw him as a divine anomaly, something that didn't belong. He wasn't celebrated. He was isolated. 2. Michikatsu's betrayal. Yoriichi's twin brother couldn't bear living in his shadow, so he did the unthinkable. Turned into a demon, becoming Kokushibo, Kakurama, Upper Moon 1. Devoted the rest of his life to surpassing his brother, but even as a demon, he never could. Kokushibo lived 400 years. Yet when asked if he surpassed Yoriichi, he didn't answer, because he knew. Even dead, Yoriichi's shadow was taller than his living self. 1. He never aged in power. Most warriors decline with age, not Yoriichi. At over 80 years old, blind and battle-worn, he fought Kokushibo, and Kokushibo admitted, "He could have killed me. Even now, that wasn't skill. That was a man who surpassed the limits of humanity." He didn't die in battle. He died standing of old age. Undefeated. His blade never dulled, his soul never cracked, his record never stained. Why wasn't he the hero of the Demon Slayer story? Because he didn't belong in it. He was too strong to be part of a story about struggle, too complete to be relatable. He was a legend who lived too early, a hero who didn't chase glory, only justice. Let's break it down. True. Yoriichi Tsugikuni, the Demon Slayer who walked like a god. In the vibrant world of Demon Slayer, filled with flashy breathing techniques, deadly upper moons, and heart-wrenching stories, there stands one figure who towers above all. Not just in power, but in myth and legacy. That man is Yoriichi Tsugikuni, the originator of sun breathing and the one person Muzan Kibutsuji, the king of demons, truly feared. But Yoriichi wasn't just another warrior. He was something more. A man born too perfect, too powerful, and far too pure for the world he lived in. Yoriichi 1. The birth of a silent miracle. Yoriichi was born during Japan's Sengoku era, a time of war, instability, and violence. He and his older twin brother, Michikatsu, were born into a noble family. From the very beginning, something seemed different. Yoriichi didn't cry at birth, which made his parents fear he might be deaf or cursed. In a time when spiritual omens mattered, Yoriichi was seen as a bad sign. But there was something else. Even as a child, Yoriichi displayed an unnatural sense of calm and observation. He could detect emotions, he could track movements others couldn't see, and most notably, he could see the transparent world, a unique perception ability that allowed him to view muscles, blood flow, and even the smallest body shifts, almost like a biological radar. This gift wasn't learned. He was born with it, and once he picked up a sword, everything changed. Kake 2. The prodigy who never needed training. Most demon slayers train for years. Some never master their breathing techniques. Others become Hashira after dedicating their lives to combat. Yoriichi, he defeated a seasoned swordsman with a sticken at age 7. He didn't learn sun breathing, he invented wasit. It was the original and purest form of combat breathing. In every other style we see in the series, flame, water, wind, thunder, mist, etc., are just weaker offshoots of sun breathing, created because no one else could use Yoriichi's style to its full potential. He wasn't just a prodigy, he was the standard, the original, the unreachable. Akasha no Wano. 3. Yoriichi's philosophy and heart. Yoriichi's power wasn't just physical, it was deeply emotional and spiritual. Unlike many strong warriors in anime who enjoy their strength or become arrogant, Yoriichi was humble, gentle, and kind-hearted. He didn't fight because he wanted to. He fought because he had to. Every swing of his blade was meant to protect the innocent. Despite being shunned by others, misunderstood, and even feared by his peers, he never showed anger. He treated his enemies with sorrow, his allies with warmth, and even his cruel brother with compassion. His humanity was not a weakness, it was his greatest strength. 4. The battle that defined history. Yoriichi's most legendary fight was against Muzan Kibutsuji, the first and strongest demon in existence. When they finally faced off, Yoriichi didn't hesitate. He immediately saw Muzan's 12 vital points, invisible to everyone else, and in a matter of seconds, he cut Muzan into more than 1,000 pieces with a single move. This wasn't a duel. This was domination. And yet Muzan managed to escape by splitting himself and scattering. Still, that encounter left Muzan permanently traumatized. He spent the rest of his life hiding in fear that someone might recreate Yoriichi's strength. To this day, Yoriichi is the only person Muzan could not defeat, or even hurt. Kamain, Para 5, a life of loss. Despite his strength, Yoriichi's life was full of suffering. His mother died when he was a child. His older brother, Michikatsu, abandoned humanity and became Kokushibo, the upper moon one. His beloved wife and unborn child were slaughtered by demons during his absence. He was exiled from the Demon Slayer Corps out of fear. And when he grew old, blind, and weak, he still couldn't find peace. Yoriichi lived a long life, but a deeply lonely one. His unmatched power isolated him. His pure soul made him a misfit. He was a protector with no one left to protect. Final thought. If you ever wonder why, Demon Slayer characters treat Yoriichi like a legend. It's because he wasn't just a hero in their world. He was a warrior, symbols of what humanity can be, even when gifted the power of gods. Yoriichi Tsugikuni was not just the best swordsman. He was a god in a man's body, walking the earth and choosing to remain human. He created a style others tried to mimic and never perfected. He defeated the strongest demon and inspired fear into the darkest hearts. He lived as a man, but was remembered as something more. He wasn't a character in a war. He was the final weapon. And the war was afraid of him. So how good was Prime Yoriichi? He wasn't good. He was the Wen game. Before Upper Moons, before Tanjiro, before Hashira, there was Yoriichi Tsugikuni, the man who touched the peak of perfection and made it look like he was just breathing. He never bragged. He never boasted. He just showed up and ended threats. If Yoriichi were alive in Tanjiro's time, the story would have ended in Volume 1. That's how good he was. So the next time someone asks, who's the strongest character in Demon Slayer? You don't need a list, you only need a name. Yoriichi. If this video shocked you, smash the like button. Want more deep dives into legendary anime icons? Subscribe. Drop a comment. Would you fear or follow someone like Yoriichi? And remember, some heroes need backup, but others are the backup. Until next time, stay sharp.